Hey guys, Matt here. Gonna take you through some common macro tracking mistakes. So let's start with number one. Number one is inputting the wrong nutrition info from MyFitnessPal. There is heaps of different foods that are listed on MyFitnessPal, and some of them are not listed correctly. For example, if you search a YoPro yogurt, and you find it on MyFitnessPal and you actually get the YoPro yogurt in front of you and you read the nutrition label, sometimes the protein and the calories from the actual food that you're holding is a lot different to what MyFitnessPal think it is. So that can be, something to try and avoid by looking for the items that have the green verified tick next to it. So do your best to find the most accurate one. Number two is, I think a lot of people weigh their foods cooked rather than uncooked. And this can really confuse a lot of people. So when you put your foods on MyFitnessPal, look to add or weigh your food uncooked. For example, say you're cooking chicken drumsticks. Put them on the digital food scale uncooked, right? Find however many grams they come up to, and then input that on your MyFitnessPal. So people normally would put the cooked chicken drumsticks on the digital food scale, and it will be a lot different to the uncooked. So just make sure that you are keeping it consistent. Uncooked is generally better 99 times out of 10. Tip number three is not tracking sauces, oils, and things like that. Definitely adds up big time. So a lot of the time we use olive oils, butters for our cooking, and we also have things like tomato sauce on things, or mayos and things like that often get forgotten about, and they end up adding to heaps of calories across a period of 7 days. So that's tip number three. So make sure you track. A tablespoon of olive oil is around 120 calories. So 20 mils, 120 calories. The other mistake is people track their exercise as calories on MyFitnessPal. Big no-no. The calories I've already prescribed to you already take into account your exercise levels for the day. So do not track your exercise as calories. The other mistake people make is we tend to eyeball things and not actually weigh it. So when we eyeball things, we tend to underestimate how much we've eaten 9 times out of 10. And that's going to lead to lower calorie reportings on your MyFitnessPal. So if you can weigh 100%. Especially early on whilst you're learning, it's going to give you a good idea and good sense how you're being able to eyeball things later on down the track. I suppose they're the main common points that we find people go wrong early on. Don't stress if you don't nail your macros to the number, because you won't. It's really impossible to do that day in, day out. Go as close as you can, but do not stress, okay? Do not overstress. Something that can be really helpful as well is pre-planning your day. I find this a really good tip for beginners. So the night before or the morning of, before you head off for work, spend 5 minutes and input all the foods that you think you will consume for that day. Whether you do consume them or not, that's okay, but it's better to input it onto MyFitnessPal before you eat, okay, rather than after you eat. So this will help make sure that you achieve your macro goals for the day. So start off by trying to get all your protein intake goal achieved. So put in all the foods that you think you're going to eat, for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, what mum's going to maybe cook tonight, what you're going to cook, what snacks you're going to bring to work, what lunch you're going to have at work. Are you going to have a coffee? Are you going to have your favorite pre-gym meal snack? Add it all in and then it'll give you your rough template for the day. And then you can play a little bit of Tetris and try and mix and match the quantity and the portion size. So to try and get your calorie targets achieved and your macro targets achieved. So that's a good little hack to try and get you to achieving your goals. So don't do it on the run, do it before the day starts or the day before, and just delete things if you didn't need them and add things if you had something different to eat. So try those tricks and try and avoid those mistakes that I've mentioned.